So what is it? Constructivism. So today, hey everyone, so this is just a quick PowerPoint just to tell you guys all what constructivism is, for those of you who don't know. Since a couple of us were talking last week, and we all seemed to be a bit confused on what it was, and we got it confused with another learning theory, cognitivism. So this brief PowerPoint will go over the theory of constructivism itself, how it was developed, or more really, who it was developed by, the features and limitations of the theory. I'm going to go over my personal experience with it, because I have experienced this in high school, of course, and I'll just wrap it all up in the end with a conclusion. So constructivism, as a learning theory, it's consisting of a student with a foundation of knowledge already built, being given an idea from a teacher. This could be something as easy as an essay prompt in English, a knowledge in maths, how to answer any question, or again another idea in computing as to how to do something in code. But this student will then have to take the knowledge given by the teacher, or the idea, and build their own understanding of it and apply it to a different way. So I can teach a student how to answer a question in math. I can teach them how to complete the square. And then they can have to take that and they might have to use it on a variety of different situations to be able to get the right answer they need. In English, I can give a student an essay prompt. I can give them a prompt saying, "Kill me, Ishmael." Now I can have two different students respond to this. I can have one respond to me saying, well, why does he want to be called Ishmael? And the other one saying, who is Ishmael? And that's constructivism as a whole. It's trying to embrace students' variety in how they see things and just see how it differs from one student to the next. Exactly. So the developers of this theory were Lev Vygotsky, who, and a quote from him states, "What a child can do today with assistance, she'll be able to do by herself tomorrow." He was all about creativity, wanting students to create their own futures, and I swear he must have been a teacher because that's exactly what we want to be doing. And another one by Jean Piaget, who says when you teach a child something, you take away further his chance of discovering it for himself. And that's very true, because I can remember myself as a kid, I don't know about you guys, but whenever I would be grilled a lesson into me by my parents and my friends, I'd always be like, yeah, whatever. And then I would have to learn it myself the hard way, and it stuck with me for the rest of my life. Never getting dead. So the features of this theory include, out of highlight, it's a personal independence granted to the student. The learner is an information constructor. People actively construct or create their own subjective representations of objective reality. This is so true because it's, at a base, I'll explain this again, what it's stating is people create their own learning and what they see. So a student can see something completely different from another student, and that is really just constructivism in a whole. No two students will have the same view of an idea. It has a more personal emphasis on the student as well, because with constructivism you want to be trying to create an essay prompt for each student individually that will bring out the best in their learning ability, in English for instance. And at the same time, that's probably one of its biggest downfalls, because it's a lot of time that takes up then. A lot of the students' time and teachers' time and energy, and as well as the students don't really have anyone to talk with. Amongst this, it's limited to student experience and learning. They need to have this proper foundation built before you can start building them up higher. Or else you're building the second floor before the first floor is not even built. And memory needs to be developed in order to use it. I'm not just saying the memory needs to be made, it needs to be there. So memory in young children is limited by biological factors. And what it's saying there is, when a student's young, they're not able to retain as much memory, therefore their work isn't going to be as good. And let's bring back to the thing, I can give a year 3 student, a year 5 student, a year 7 and a prep the same work. Clearly I'm going to expect more of the year 7 and less of the prep, because I can't expect the same from a 5-year-old as I would a 13-year-old. So my personal experience with this theory includes, it was used a lot in my year 12 English room. The teacher would give us all a prompt at the start of the lesson, and then we'd have to go understand it ourselves, or read a book and have to find the hidden meaning in the text. and then would have to talk about it in class in a discussion style and breed discussion. And I can remember myself going up to my teacher every single lesson and asking, well, what about this, what about this, what about this? And as a teacher now, looking back on it, that's something I really wish I could have, because have a student that could always be asking me questions over and over and over, show me that they're interested in learning. That's something we all want to see. And then juxtapose this, in Year 12 physics, I had a teacher that wasn't as big on constructivism, but we had one science experiment that was. We looked at, it was elastic strain recovery. So this was seeing the tensile strength of materials and their use in structures. So we were seeing pretty much when wire would snap, how heavy it had, the weight had to be on it. And wire roughly snaps at 4 kilograms. So plastic snaps at 4 kilograms for you guys. So, and the reason why I remember this in copper snaps at 26, the reason why I remember this is because we were physically doing it. We were physically making this, which is constructivism, which links in it. Constructivism being that it's basically the same thing, except there's a physical component to it. But from this, we still had to develop our understanding, because while it snapped, how did it snap? Was it because of how it was secured in the wire? Was it because of wind? Was it because of how the weights were put on? We had to ask all these questions after doing it, because there was a multitude of things. We're constructing our own theories around this. And as a teacher, I want to be able to see these two types of students. I want to see a student that's questioning everything, see a student that's always asking for help. I want to be able to see everyone coming up to me every lesson saying, hey, I have an idea for this article, can we go over it? That's what we want to see. So in conclusion, constructivism sits in a place between cognitivism and behaviorism, but focuses more on independent learning and setting the student up for the future. Not just teaching what they need to know to get through high school, but teaching them the life skills they need to develop themselves further in life and get to the point where they need to be. Thank you.